work and money, because they're often the same type of things. So if we just think about a narcissist and their characteristics, I've talked about control and power. I've talked about their need for control and power, their want to be the most important person in the world at all times, and quite often when it comes to work, they don't think that they actually should have to work, and unless they're working in top finance or high politics, they don't think that they should be doing the little jobs. Little jobs are for little people, and narcissists in their own mind are not the little people. So that's why they often have really bad work records. Other things about narcissists is that they're always right. They're right fighters. So again, within a work history, you'll find lots of examples of, well, they weren't doing it right and they didn't agree with me and I just had to leave. I couldn't stay there. There's always an excuse as to why they can't maintain a job. They have very little understanding of what it's like to be in anybody's shoes, let alone the person that they may be in a relationship with that's having to finance and fund that. To them, that's just exactly how it should be. I shouldn't have to work if I don't want to. I shouldn't have to get up and commute up to the office or to the supermarket or the field that I might be working. I shouldn't have to do those things. That's for other people to do for me. I should be able, because I'm entitled, I'm completely and totally entitled. I should be able to pick and choose my jobs if I do so. I once had a client that had a long-term relationship with a narcissist who was in the music business, and I'm not too sure what this person did in the music business, but it meant that there wasn't much of whatever it is they did. It was some kind of post-production or something like that, but there wasn't a lot of it going. And when she used to say to him, could you please just get a job? I'm working 2 jobs here. I'm trying to get the finances, the food on the table for the kids. I'm trying to get it sorted out. And he would say, no, I have to be available. This job may come up, so I have to be available. It was really difficult for her. And he wouldn't budge on that because he was in this job, the one job in the world that he was prepared to do. There wasn't much of it, but he always had to be available. And then he would spend his time out of the house, not looking after or helping to look after the young children in any way whatsoever. And he would hang around recording studios because just in case he made the right connection that then he got a job. He was really, really poor as a work record and as an earner, not even necessarily a provider. You know, we live in the 21st century. Men don't have to be the sole providers. But he wasn't even a contributor. And if she dared to challenge him on that, of course, she'd get the rage. And this is where I wanted to talk about the different things that if you talk about finances to a narcissist, what you'll get. So there'll be the top things that you'll get. So they will lie, that goes without saying. They will hide things. That's really common traits of narcissists when it comes to their finance. They'll hide bank statements. They'll hide overdue credit card demands. They'll often hide loans that they have taken out, say on a shared property that you don't know about. They'll hide that and then leaving you liable for the loans or half liable, or I've had situations where people have had their signatures forged, and because they have potentially gone along with it, or they've been told that they've been gone along with it by the narcissist, they haven't made a fuss and they've just ended up having to work even harder to get those loans met. They will deflect. They will, if you talk to them about finances, they'll do everything possible not to kind of be that squirming person that has to actually tell the truth. You say, oh, but I've looked at our bank statements and we don't seem to have any money. I thought we had a few thousand in savings and I've looked at it and there's nothing there. And they'll deflect from that and they'll kind of come up with, oh, well, there was that thing that I had to do, but I will pay it back. And, you know, it's obviously very important to you, not to them, so they're deflecting the actual responsibility from them and putting it onto you. And I'll do what I can. And they inevitably don't do it. Or if you do and you try and chase them up about that commitment, then they get all angry and rageful and they'll start talking about other things. And again, it's just that go along to get along. You just want an easy life because, of course, one of the characteristics of having a relationship with a narcissist is that you're permanently anxious. You're permanently walking on eggshells because you don't know which way they're going to blow. I've said this before, that narcissists are like the weather. from out of nowhere, you can just get this storm and this anger and this rage coming at you from all directions, like a massive storm might do. And at other times, it's just a kind of little gentle breeze, but that could pick up at any time. And they kind of put that over to people. They want people that they can manipulate and they can control to know that, because it's like, don't go there, don't challenge me, don't even think about it. Hey, I may have spent that money, but it was a joint account. Did you put it in? Did I put it in? Of course, you're the person that has put it in there. But it's a joint account, so that makes it ours, doesn't it? And then if you dare to ask, as I say, they'll kind of come back at you as if it's all your responsibility for even asking. And they will, that's another thing, they will transfer it onto you. The responsibility that they should be having about work, about finances, they will happily transfer onto you or transfer onto another person. And then they'll also pull out that classic line of, well, my mate Bob, his wife, she doesn't keep going on about him. He's allowed to take whatever he likes out of the bank account and go and spend it on whatever he likes. Bob is a different person. Bob has a responsible job. Bob has an earning capacity, whereas you're dealing with somebody whose earnings go up and down and up and down and are often on the down. And when they get the money that they feel that they've earned, boy, do they never want to give it away. It's their money. Your money is our money, and their money is their money. And that's a classic trait of a narcissist when it comes to finances. So they will hide things, they will deflect, they will squirm and kind of get away with what they can. They will then put it all onto you. So you're again feeling, oh, right, is it wrong to ask that our finances should be in order? And you practically walk away from that conversation. And if you asked yourself that question, you would say, well, clearly it is. Clearly I shouldn't be asking about your commitment and your responsibility to our finances, because one, you're not capable of meeting them, and also I feel bad about asking, and that's what they leave you with. That's typically narcissism. And they're very thin-skinned individuals, so prick it and that's it. The rage could come out, or the sulks could come out, or the withdrawal. You have people that just, right, you've asked me something that I don't want to be challenged about. I am now going to withdraw from you. I'm not going to talk to you. And you don't even know what you've done. You may have just put a passing comment that, oh, the gas bill needs paying or something. And next thing you know, that person's not talking to you for a week and you don't know what you've done. And again, it's that sense of control that they have over you. So it's about being aware of exactly what they are doing. And then you can change how you operate, because narcissists do not change. Leopards do not change their spots. Narcissists, unless they're absolutely made to, because there's a legal proceeding, or you really are going to leave them, or they are going to lose the house and their family, they will not change. They will only change if there's a condition. And then they inevitably just change for the sake of being seen to change. They're not actually changing themselves, because ultimately, the way they operate in the world, they do not think is wrong. There is nothing wrong with that. There's stuff wrong with you because you keep kind of whining and going on to them about things, about money, etc. But there's actually nothing wrong with the way I operate. I'm quite happy operating the way I do. And also another characteristic of narcissism is that they are quite lazy individuals. If they've got the best job in the world, record producing, top finance, politics, etc., etc., if they've got the job that they want to do, they will apply themselves to that because they get enjoyment from it. They inevitably get some kind of feedback. They inevitably get some kind of audience that they can play to. They inevitably get staff under them that they can control and they can manipulate and they can boss around. And that's why they like those jobs. So they will put effort into maintaining those jobs. But on the whole, narcissists are quite lazy, and they will surround themselves with people that will fund them, that will feed them, that will look after them. And that's why the characteristics of a narcissistic relationships are so important, so people are aware. And you don't enter into it in the first place. Or if you are in a narcissistic relationship, you do something about it, because it can be looking out at a desert, you think there's no way, what am I going to do? I'm in this relationship. I have children with this relationship. I have my commitments that I want to fulfill. And that person isn't. But what am I going to do? Am I going to be stuck with them for the rest of their lives? And it doesn't actually have to be like that. That is Narcissists and Finance /work. It's a really, really interesting subject. It's, of course, a toxic subject to them, which is kind of ironic because they're the top toxic substance in a lot of people's lives. But to them, being questioned about finances and work is a real toxic subject that they will do everything to get away with. Please feel free to put some comments below. Tell me about your situation, your stories. I'd be really interested to hear, and let's see if we can't kind of do a supportive community between us in the links below. As ever, I will put some help about narcissism on drjane.co.uk. And again, as ever, if I could ask you to subscribe and hit the bell button, and also if you could hit the like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I do hope that you get some value and some interesting information from these videos. So if there's anything anybody would like me to cover with regards to a narcissistic relationship, please feel free to put it in the comments below. I will read them all. Until the next time, thanks ever so much, and goodbye.